Hi guys, thanks for tuning into my third video log. I'm coming to you from home this time, so we're not at work. Just finished the day of work. Actually, just got home from it. It's been a nice big Saturday for me. I had to make up. Was working all day today, and I'll be working all day tomorrow as well to make up for a few days I missed throughout the week because I've actually been quite sick lately, which is why I haven't been doing many videos or any posts like that because I've been really ill, so I haven't been able to work much and I haven't been able to train at all. So today was actually my first day back training and I'm feeling pretty fatigued from it actually, just because I'm not. It's been a few days now, so your body starts to get used to not training. So when you come back, everything's feeling a bit heavy. You're feeling a bit tired, and yeah, it's a lot of fun, as a lot of you people have probably experienced. So anyway, today I'm going to be going through the 6 biggest training myths. I've had a few people wanting me to talk a bit more about training, so I thought this is probably a pretty good way to start to get rid of all the bad information out there, basically, having to tell you a bit of the truth anyway. So the first one we're going to be going through is that training with weights will make you too big and bulky. So this is one that comes mostly from girls, but it also comes from quite a few guys as well. So this is stemmed from quite a few of my clients. Say when I sit them through the initial consultation and I ask them about their goals, they'll say something like they want to tone up or they want to increase their size a bit, but they don't want to get too big. So I almost have to try and stop myself from laughing when I hear this sometimes, just because I've been trying to get too big for I think it's about 6.5 years now, and it's not an easy process. I wish it happened as quick as these people think it does, but I can understand where they're coming from, because they obviously don't want to get that big size, and they have an image in their mind of what they want to achieve, and it's not that big bulky look. So basically, it's not gonna happen though overnight. So if you're training with weights, yes, eventually you're going to build up a bit of muscle size and you're going to have that muscle toning there, but it's going to take years of training and hard work and dedication to actually build up to the point where you think that you're too big. And once you get to that point where you think you're too big, then if it does eventually happen, which I've never heard of before, but if it does, just slow down, or just slow that progress so you're not getting too big anymore. It's as simple as that, really. It's something that's not going to be very likely to happen though, so myth busted. The next one is training your legs will make your upper body bigger. So this one comes from some opinions out there of people that say when you're training your legs, you increase the testosterone throughout your body, and this helps to increase the size of your upper body. Now, there is a little bit of truth behind this, in that when you're training with weights, you do increase your testosterone, but it's not to a significant enough amount to actually warrant that change in the size of your upper body without providing that stimulus that you need to actually increase the muscle size and increase the strength there. So you still need to, if you want to be upper body, you need to train. It's as simple as that. You're not going to be able to just train one body part and hope that the rest of your body is going to grow along with it. I wish it was like that, but unfortunately it doesn't happen. So myth busted on that one too. Next one is that high reps is for toning and low reps is for getting bigger. So again, there's a little bit of truth behind this, in that high reps is going to you're going to be able to increase muscle tone through that and increase the size a little bit as well at the same time. And low reps, you're also going to increase the muscle tone and increase the size. So it's not about having those higher reps or those lower reps. It's more about total volume. So volume is something I'll have to explain to you guys in a bit more detail, but basically, to give you a brief summary, it's a intensity factor that's worked out by multiplying sets by weight by reps. So if you multiply those 3 factors together, then you get your total volume for that exercise and your total volume for that muscle group. So say for instance, if you're going to do something like, so if you're doing squats, for example, and you're doing 5 reps for 6 sets at 100 kilos, that would make a total volume for that exercise of 3,000 kilos. And then again, to differ that, so that's a low rep range, to differ that with a high rep range, you could be doing 15 reps for 3 sets at 70 kilos. And that would make a total volume for the exercise of 3,150 kilograms. So as you can see, there's a very similar loading through your body through that volume. So that's going to be the factor that dictates whether you're increasing your muscle mass or not. As long as you're increasing that volume over time, you're going to increase your muscle mass. It doesn't matter if you're doing those high reps or those low reps. Obviously, to be honest, it's probably a little bit easier to get that volume in through doing the higher reps, because it's going to have a bigger number at the end, because it's obviously 15 is a bigger number than 6, so it's easier to make that increase there. So you're actually going to probably have a little bit of an easier time putting on that muscle size through having the higher reps as well, to increase that total volume that you're putting through your muscle groups. So it's almost the complete opposite actually, but like I said, high reps, low reps, doesn't matter too much. Focus on your training volume. So myth busted. Third one is that squats are bad for your knees and deadlifts are bad for your back. Anything's going to be bad for you if you're doing it wrong. That's the basic idea behind it. So squats are good for your knees if you're doing it right, because I mean you're getting that. Basically, bones are the same as muscles in certain respects. If you're putting loading through them, they're going to increase in density and they're going to become stronger. Now this only happens to a certain age, and then from there your bones start to break down. But even if you're putting that loading through the bones after that age, you can still reduce that breakdown process. So they're actually helping to increase the strength through that knee joint there. And with deadlifts, same thing. You're going to be strengthening up your back through getting that load through there. You'll be increasing the muscles around the bones to help protect them. And you're going to be increasing the strength around your spine, provided the fact that you're doing both these exercises right. So if you're getting any injuries, or you're feeling sore in a bad way, or these exercises are hurting while you're doing them, then it probably means you're doing them wrong. And you'll be able to tell straight away if your back's starting to round on a deadlift, then you're doing it wrong. If your knees are dropping too far forward on a squat, then you're doing it wrong. There's a big list there I could go on, but just for the sake of this argument, that we'll count that as busted. Okay, next one, we're almost at the end now, is training your abs will reduce the fat around your stomach. So you actually can't spot reduce fat. If you're doing any type of training, then it's going to be based on genetics where your fat will start to come off first, and where your most fat cells are stored. So if you're training, then you can't, unfortunately, decide where the fat's going to come off. So if you're training your arms, fat's not necessarily going to come off there. It's going to come off your whole body, and it will come off a certain part a bit more than another one, but that's just based on genetics. And generally with girls, it's going to be more around the hips that'll come off first, and with males, it's more around the stomach area that we tend to load on that fat, so it'll probably come off there first. But like I said, it depends on genetics. So unfortunately, training those abs as much as you want to see them, it's focusing on that area is not going to decrease the fat around that area. It's not going to make them more visible. So instead, just try and increase your energy expenditure and decrease that energy intake. Okay, on to the next one. I also just realized that I've actually got 7 here. I was meant to get rid of one because I only wanted to keep it 6, but too bad. We're going to stick with 7 now that we're going. Okay, so the next one is that you need to change the exercises that you're doing all the time to shock your muscles. this is not true. Your muscles aren't gonna all of a sudden, as soon as you change from something like a bench press with a barbell to a bench press with a dumbbell, your muscles aren't gonna think, oh crap, we're changing exercises, I need to grow now. That's not how the muscles work. You're still working that muscle group, and while you might be hitting it at a different angle, it's not going to make that massive difference. It's what does make the difference is, like I was talking about before, is getting that progressive overload. So increasing that volume through that muscle group in order for it to get that increased stimulus and get that extra growth there. So you can do that through a number of factors, like I was talking about before. You can increase your reps, increase your weight, or increase your sets, and you will get that volume increase, and thus you will increase your muscle mass as long as you're eating for it. That is. Okay, finally, muscle turns into fat if you stop lifting. I'm not sure where this one comes from, because I don't really see the logic behind it. Muscle and fat are they have two different compositions basically. So one cannot transform into another. If you're still eating to gain muscle when you're not training anymore, then you're going to increase fat, because you're not having that increased calorie expenditure where you were training before and doing all that exercise and burning off those calories. And if you're still eating like you're burning off those calories all the time, then yeah, you're going to gain fat. But it's not your muscles turning into fat, it's just your muscle mass decreasing because you're not getting that stimulus through it, and your fat increasing because you're not training hard anymore. So I hope that helps with your training, guys. And if you don't forget to follow me on YouTube, so I'll be posting more videos. Hopefully I'll get a few more out now that I'm not sick anymore. And if you have any questions, guys, or any comments or anything that you want me to talk about in the next video, then don't hesitate to message me, or even add me on Facebook if you want, and I'll be happy to message you back on there. But otherwise, guys, enjoy your weekend, and I will see you sometime soon.